found it. It's the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video, the Thursday evening edition, 19th day of August. And what an August it has been. We had a dry stretch earlier in the month, but past 7 days or so have been very, very soggy, and we are in the middle of a pretty soggy summer. Last evening on my weather blog, that's ericwfmj.com, I put up a written blog post for the first time in a couple of months talking about climate change and how it's kind of loading the dice, if you will, in terms of precipitation for our area. More opportunities for heavy rain events. Probably the true signature of climate change around here. Yes, our temperatures are rising, but the bigger impacts come with these more frequent heavy rain events, particularly in the summer and early fall seasons. So head over to ericwfmj.com and check that out. So one of the things I talked about in that blog post is, yes, the increased precipitation we are seeing. Some of this is going to be random chance. Some of it is going to would happen anyway, even without climate change. But climate change definitely kind of loads the dice in favor of more frequent, impactful heavy rain events like we saw across the area today. These are actual rain gauges over the last 24 hours. Now, you see some goose eggs on here. Some places didn't have a drop of rain today. Down in Boardman and Mahoning County, over an inch in a few spots, but you don't have to travel too far to find much lower amounts. Here in Youngstown, we only had 0.17, but heading up north into Trumbull County, even though some rain gauges here don't look particularly impressive, outside of this rain gauge network, of course, there were some higher totals that were found from this afternoon. At the Youngstown Warren Airport, 2.65 today. Now, 2.36 of this occurred in 40 minutes. 40 minutes, 2.36 inches worth of rain. So when you have those kinds of rainfall rates, there's not much that can be done about it, really. You're going to have flooding no matter what when the rainfall rates are like that. Now, this brings our monthly total up over 7 inches. This makes it the 6th wettest August on record through only today's date. We've got a lot of August left. We've got, 12 more days of August, and so we could climb higher on that list, but already up to 6th place on the list of wettest Augusts on record. Flash flood warning still out for the southern tier of Trumbull County. Thankfully, the rain is pretty much over, but that flash flood warning runs until 7:45 this evening. These are some radar estimates across the flash flood warning zone from Mineral Ridge up to Niles, up to Vienna. Yeah, 2 inches plus easily, and I wouldn't even be surprised if we had some localized 3-inch plus amounts where we had particularly bad flooding problems in parts of the Niles area earlier on today, but also up in northeastern Trumbull County. Even though we did not get under a flash flood warning up here, it's a flood advisory getting set to expire just after I record this video. Yeah, up near Gustavus and into the Kinsman area as well. At 2+ inches worth of rain, a pretty good bet up there. And it looks like they actually just discontinued the flood advisory about 5 minutes early as I was just speaking. But yeah, northeastern Trumbull also had some bouts of heavy rain. This is the radar loop over the last several hours. The problem today was mostly training showers and storms. In other words, they kept going over the same areas. They didn't move very fast. There's not much flow aloft today to steer these things along. So once they bubbled up, with the high dew points today, the atmosphere kind of loaded for bear. Lots of juice in the atmosphere to be wrung out. And we saw that happen, especially in Trumbull County. But we even had some downpours and some flooding issues in parts of Mahoning County earlier on today, including around the Struthers area. Had several reports of some flooding issues around Struthers. Now, the sky is getting set to clear out this evening. The weather quiets down overnight, and as the sky clears with all this moisture near the ground, with all the rain this week, light winds, that's a recipe for some fog. And, our nights are getting longer, so the opportunities for fog only increase as we go deeper into August and into the fall season. So watch for the patchy dense fog tomorrow morning. All right, full slate of high school football games Friday evening after a few games this evening. Friday's forecast is a good one. We won't have any showers and storms around in the afternoon into the evening. Temperatures at kickoff in the upper 70s, into the lower 70s at halftime, upper 60s by the end of the evening. Nice evening for week 1. So Friday is a winner. We have removed any chances of precipitation from Friday and now Saturday's forecast. Our model here has a couple of green spots, but we do have a dry forecast now for Saturday. Saturday's pretty much a rerun of Friday. Might be some fog early. The afternoon, plenty of heat and humidity. If your pool is still in operation, jump in the pool Saturday afternoon. More good pool weather for a lot of the day Sunday, even though a weakening disturbance might try to trigger a shower or a storm before Sunday is through. Most of the weekend will be rain-free. And yeah, steamy. 85 Saturday, 86 degrees on Sunday. Our averages are in the lower 80s, so this is about 5 degrees warmer than the average. In fact, we'll be even farther above the average by early next week. So the heat probably peaks Tuesday into Wednesday with highs in the upper 80s in some places. But then, as we've been talking about on Weather Geeks this week, a cold front is coming our way at the end of next week, and the final weekend of August is likely to be cooler, the 80s replaced by some 70s. Real quickly before we go this evening, let's talk about the longer range. It's Thursday evening, so we get a fresh set of long-range model data from the European Center. We call these the European Weeklies. We get these actually twice a week, Monday evening, Thursday evening. Wanted to talk about September. And like any set of model data, you take this with a grain of salt, but it's August 19th. We're getting within range of taking these models a little seriously when we talk about the next month. So when we get to about the third week of the current month, the forecast for the next month bears watching. It's not total voodoo usually. There are some signals that we can hang our hat on. The European weeklies are pretty warm looking in the month of September. Not every day will be warm, of course, but this is the temperature anomaly for September off tonight's run, and it's hard to find any below average temperatures across the country. What about precipitation, where a lot of us are really tired of the rain? We're going to break this down by chunks here, and as we go into early September, so right around Labor Day, there's a drier signal for a few days around Labor Day. Hopefully that is the correct idea. Beyond Labor Day, there's not much of a signal either way here locally. If you had to pick something out here, it would probably be kind of a wet signal in the middle of the country, dry along the East Coast. Maybe we're somewhere in the middle. So it's hard to kind of ascertain much in the way of a precipitation signal for the entire month of September at this point, but there are some model indications that maybe September will begin on a reasonably dry note, and that certainly would be good news for the Canfield Fair and for anybody with Labor Day plans. But of course, we'll keep you updated as we get a little bit closer to those big activities around that big Labor Day weekend coming up in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, thank you for watching tonight's Weather for Weather Geeks, and enjoy the rest of your Thursday night.